Major League Baseball welcomes you to the following presentation of the Detroit Tigers.
Earlier this week, a sterling home start got a little bit sour as the Red Sox came into Comerica Park and swept the Tigers. But a 12-3 start to the home schedule was punctuated by a 3-game sweep against the Kansas City Royals in mid-April. 2-1 twice, then a walk-off for Colt Keith and the baby powder. On Dayside, Game 3. Can the Tigers get back to that mojo against a Royals team they swept just a couple of weeks ago? Tigers baseball presented by Bet365. It comes to you from the home of the Royals, the Big K, in the outskirts of Kansas City. Thanks for joining us. Jason Benetti, Andy Dirks, Daniela Bruce in a moment. The Royals, when we saw them, had fallen to 7-16. Since then, they have fully dug themselves out. So a different Kansas City team, the Tigers are going to try and sweep again.
When KC came in the last time, the offense was really scuffling. They weren't scoring many runs, and you can see right there, 5.31 runs per game, second best in the big league since April 24th. The OPS has went up. That means the power numbers are getting good, and their bullpen has been tremendous as of late. So this is not the same offense that the Tigers faced heading into the series previously. Cater Montero is the guy on the mound today, Jason. He's going to have to do something spectacular to get the ship righted. The sinker into righties, that's a go-to pitch for him. He loves working the fastball to the inside part. Against the righties, the swing back away helps him get some early outs and some ground balls. To the lefties, it's that four-seam up. He's got to establish the fastball to both the righties and the lefties. He can get swing and miss on it. As soon as they start trying to jump the heater, which they will, against the lefties, the changeup's going to be crucial to keep the power off the baseball. He can work it in, he can work it out. And to the righties, you know his pitch, the slider. If he can get the slider working towards the middle of the plate, diving down and away, get some swing and miss, and hopefully keep this offense down against the Royals.
It's an early important series of the American League Central. It feels like they're all going to be important with how condensed these 5 teams are.
I agree. You know, you see a division that's up for grabs. Nobody's going to take this thing and just like start piling on a ton of wins. The Tigers have to figure out a way to stay around that 500 mark. If they start tanking and going below the 500 mark by 5 games, by 10 games, it's going to be really hard to get out of it when the guys are back and healthy.
And that's why the divisional games become so crucial for the Tigers to start this year, even with 14 guys on the injured list. Mentioned the Tigers had 3 last at-bat wins against Kansas City at Comerica Park, all by 1 run. The questions we ask, though, involve how many times that sort of thing can happen in all of one season, and you might be surprised at how many times it's happened over the years. And one more thing, it's next.
Let's go places.
Tigers baseball on Detroit SportsNet is presented by Bet365, where winning is everything. By McDonald's of Michigan, grab a $5 McChicken meal today. By Rally House, Michigan, it's your city, it's your house. It's the Rally House. And by Steel, find your local Steel dealer at steelusa.com. 2-1, 2-1, 10-9, all over the map, but 1-run games, all 3 of them against the Kansas City Royals. And our one more thing today is of that subject of how many close games can you play? How many last at-bat wins can you pile up in one season against a very specific team? Most last at-bat wins against an opponent since 1901. The Tigers, it's 7 against the venerable future Baltimore Orioles in 1945. In 1951, the Brooklyn Dodgers won 9 times against the Cardinals their last at-bat.
Heartbreak Hotel for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah, just turn on the radio in the 8th inning. Forget the rest of the game.
Start the bus. They're going to beat us by a run. Let's just save the bullpen pitcher.
The 1-run thing is ridiculous. Like, if you think 9 in the last at-bat is ridiculous, the 1-run thing is even more ludicrous, because 5 times in Major League history, teams have had 14 one-run games. I mean, imagine what people were saying in 1913 when the White Sox and Tigers got together.
Somebody please score more than 1 or 2 runs per game.
Yes, somebody blow somebody out.
Give me 7, give me 8. Hit a couple homers, why don't you?
But do you remember the Packers Terriers in 1915?
Oh yeah, the Terriers, they were one of my all-time favorites. The mascot was great. It was a dinosaur.
Okay. This is why we call it One More Thing, because you can either choose to remember it or not. The Royals and Tigers, game 1 of 3 from lovely Kansas City is next.
Second of the action.
Tigers baseball is presented by Figer Law. This beautiful ballpark, the home of the Royals since 1973, the Big K, Kauffman Stadium, across the parking lot from the home of Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. We're told that the quarterback of the Chiefs might be here tonight. He's a part owner of this franchise, so he may be here. And Matt Vierling, St. Louis native, is here in a Tigers uniform. Tigers batting order presented by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. This is season walk rate. You see McGonigal at 12.5%, Riley Green at 14%. There is some percents there that you don't want to be your interest rate on your mortgage, which is good for the Tigers in this case. And Bubic has been walking guys a little bit more than he's used to, Andy.
He has. It's who's going to dominate the top of the strike zone. If Bubic gets too high out of the zone, you got to lay off. If you don't lay off his high fastball, you'll swing and miss, and that opens up his changeup even more. He's had a little bit of a struggle figuring out exactly how high he needs to go with the heater with the new strike zone, so that if the Tigers can win the battle at the top rail with the fastball, those righties, it's going to be a good day for him. If they start swinging, though, at it, Jason, and allow him to elevate up out of the zone, it's going to be rough. The changeup's always been pretty good with him. Don't let him speed you up.
Well, the Tigers have been a team that doesn't really chase this year. They are second in Major League Baseball in chase rate. Swing and miss, top 5 lowest in the league. So here we go. With Bubic, the left-hander, who's walked 12 in his last 4 games, he fires in a strike. And Dexter Kelly has the plate. He calls it strike 1. We're underway. Wheels up time. 6:41 Central Time tonight at Kauffman Stadium. Just a splendid night for Major League Baseball at a beautiful facility that has held up so well over the years. One and one to Matt Vierling, who's got some family here tonight. His mom's supposed to be here. His brother's supposed to be here. Some friends from childhood growing up made the drive for a couple hours from St. Louis.
I like coming to Kansas City. I always had family come in. I'm from Kansas, obviously. But it's fun to play in front of your family, your friends, because they don't get to see you every day.
We did. I mean, we reached capacity in the booth before the game. You know, the elevator certificate on the wall, it says like, yeah, 18 probably is. Your family was here before the game, and they are marvelous people.
Yeah, my sisters, all my sisters' kids and a couple of their friends, cousins.
Ground ball to third, Michael Garcia for Kansas City. A defense that has been strong so far this year, top 10 by just about every metric, and there's one away. And here is that defense, Collins and Isbell, and then Jack Caglione out there in right field, who has one of the best arms in Major League Baseball, and don't the Tigers know it?
We saw it in the last series. He threw some absolute BBs to home plate. Not a guy that you would prefer to run on, but you know the Tigers are still going to be aggressive on the bases. If they get a shot to go first or third, they're probably going to make him make the throw.
You would imagine so.
I don't think that, you know, you're always going to look at the arm, but they still have to make an accurate throw, no matter how good it is.
Here's Kevin McGonigal, who has seen a whole bundle of sinkers in from left-handers this year, but specifically from Bubic. Now we're getting to the point where Kevin has seen guys as starters once. This is a rematch from back on April the 16th as he takes a sweeper away. So 3 flyouts against Bubic, but a ton of sinkers inside. You see all those landing either off the plate or just nibbing, and what word am I looking for? Nibbling the inside corner. 2-1 is outside, 3-1.
But that's so, you know, they want to go in because Bubic doesn't have the best slider. That's not his best secondary pitch. It's a changeup. So if they can keep him off the slider away, that'll help. That'll help open it up for him.
3-1. Yeah, he was nibbling
there. It's ball 4.
And that's what you talked about with walks. 12 walks in the last 4 games. That's 13 in the last 5 now. If my math is correct.
Your math is very right.
And we're just getting started.
Yeah, again, the Tigers, though the home run number has not been what they'd expected. It's 20th in the league. If you can create base runners here and put some pressure on Kansas City, the Royals have not had the off day that the Tigers did yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you can stress the bullpen, and Bubic had a fairly short outing in that April 16th game, maybe you can use that to your advantage as the 1-0 is in there, a strike on Jahmai Jones. McGonigal at first, 1 down, first inning. And that is hit in the air to the left-hand side. Isaac Collins, the former Milwaukee Brewer, makes the catch, and there are 2 away.
Close. Just out in front of the changeup by a hair. And that's where Bubic lives. He likes to speed you up with the fastball so he can dump his changeup in and get weak contact. A lot of pop-ups on his changeup.
Which the league has exactly 1 hit against this year.
Been
1
really
hit on his changeup. So here is Dylan Dingler. And there's ball 1. Tigers come in at 18-20. Kansas City is 17-21. And in the American League Central, that's good for 2nd place and 4th place by a game and a half and 2.5. 1-0. There goes McGonigal. Throw down to second is going to ricochet to shortstop. It's a stolen base for Kevin, his 5th in 5 tries.
It's a lot of fun to have some speed at the top of the order. Kevin McGonigal can provide it. He's going to go first move. Gets a good enough jump. The ball kicked away. Fortunately for the Royals, there was a defender there after it hit his leg, or else that's another base.
Kevin had a notion.
He saw it. Yeah. There's a guy named Bobby Witt standing there, though.
Yeah. His awareness level is fairly high. 2-1. There is Bobby Witt Jr. coming off a 4-hit game yesterday against Cleveland.
That bat's heating up.
Big time.
Mm-hmm. You knew it would.
You said it off the top of the show. When we saw the Royals, they were struggling for power. Now Vinny Pasquantino's got 5 homers.
Mm-hmm.
Witt's got 4 after hitting his first in late April against the Angels.
Well, as the middle of that order goes, so the Royals go.
There is Witt at shortstop. He'll load up a throw. Tigers threatened, nibbled, but couldn't score. No score, bottom 1, Tigers and Royals, and here is the Kansas City batting order. Weighted runs created plus, league average is 100. It's a whole offensive stat to tell you how you're doing against league average. And you see Collins above 100, Caglione above 100. Bobby Witt Jr. has raced into the echelon that you would expect from him. Vinny Pasquantino trying to tune it up, but Michael Garcia in so many ways makes this thing go, as he will face the Tigers starting pitcher presented by Wallside Windows, Kader Montero, who has seen Kansas City already this year as well, Andy.
And he's going to get a little runway with some injuries to Tiger starting pitching. He's in the big leagues. He's proven he can throw the ball very well. You see the base on ball rate. When he's in the zone with both the sinker and the four seam, he likes the sinker to righties, a little more of the four seam to lefties. That allows him to get to the slider. You do not want him to have an outing where he has to throw too many sliders, Jason.
First pitch, it's a fastball. It's into the sunlight, and it is out number 1. Tigers starting defense brought to you by the fine folks at Marygrove Awnings. Zach Short back on the roster, re-signed to a deal after being designated for assignment. He will play shortstop. Green, Vierling, Perez in the outfield. McGonigal, then Short and Lee and Torkelson, and Dylan Dingler has the plate. Bobby Witt Jr., who takes a pitch downstairs from Montero, which is interesting considering Kader Montero threw him maybe 2 pitches you would call down in the entire sequence the few times he saw him.
They were both breaking balls. He likes the fastball. He likes to run it up, try to get it on the hands, and then throw the breaking ball away. And that one of Kader's big improvements for me is just he's not so dependent on the slider. Because now when he knows that he can get that sinker in on the hands, expand the zone up, and that 4-seam up in the zone.
Right there. Exactly what he's looking for. He gets a pop out to Torkelson, 2 gone.
That's beautiful execution. He's in a position now where he can command his fastball well enough to put it in a quadrant that he knows he's gotten Bobby Witt Jr. out with before, and has confidence that he's not going to miss so far in that it's a non-effect pitch. So there's a fine line when a pitcher goes in. You know, if you throw it too far in, you hit him, or it's a non-competitive pitch up and in, and it really doesn't do anything. If you can throw it there, that's a tough pitch to get to.
What you just said is the intrigue of seeing a team now for the second time, because it's just a couple weeks ago, and Bobby Witt Jr. knows exactly how Montero pitched him. You want to pitch him that way in the end, but you can't just pepper the zone again. He'll be on it. He's a good enough hitter.
Well, eventually he's going to cheat. If he's not quite getting to that fastball up and in, eventually he's going to sell out and look for it up and in and turn on it and hit it to left field very hard.
Two 2-0 to Pasquantino. That's a strike, 2-1.
But the old baseball mind also can trick you thinking he's going to adjust to it better than you might think. You think, oh, he's really going to adjust this pitch. Maybe he doesn't.
Right center field. Vierling gets to the wall and reels it in to retire the side. More warning track power against the Tigers for Pasquantino. Nice play by Matty V.
In front of the family, he's got some family in the stands, sprints a long way right before the wall. Kader says, thank you, sir.
Hey. Riley Green and Bobby Witt Jr. actually have a history of playing together back when they were just young players trying to make it to this point. They played on the U18 Team USA national team back in 2018, and they were teammates along with C.J. Abrams, Corbin Carroll, Pete Crow Armstrong, and Jack Leiter also on that team.
Riley wants extra bases here, thank you very much, and he slides in with a leadoff double. That's why he was on the under-18 team and an all-star growing up.
Yeah, those are Chevy's strongest players for today, but I talked to Riley about that team, and he said, obviously being teammates with guys like Bobby Witt Jr. is really cool, but one thing he wishes he would have done is take it in a little bit. You don't realize at that point that you're playing with a bunch of future all-stars in Major League Baseball. He wishes he would have appreciated that just a little bit more, guys.
Sounds like, you know, at prom they say, take more pictures.
Right, exactly. That's it. And all of those guys, really, it was a star-studded team. And get this, they outscored their opponents through 9 games in that tournament with a score of 131 to 27.
Really fun games to call.
Yeah.
I think Andy would have enjoyed that.
There's a little more talent on one side than the other, it seems like.
Ground ball, that's through. A base hit past Pasquantino. Green gets a stop sign at third because of Caglione's arm in part. And the Tigers are in business. First and third on 3 pitches to start the second inning.
Yeah, nice job. Win the top rail. That's what we talked about off the top of the show. And when someone goes up, gets on top of the baseball. Worst case, he moves the runner to third. Best case, he gets a knockout of the deal. I love first and third for rallies. See if Torque can get on top of something that's high in the zone. He's going to want to throw him that high heat and that changeup down. So you got to make your decision. Stay on the changeup, try to hit it the other way, or hit that fastball up in the zone right back to center field.
So it's a fastball first in what seemed like kind of a smallish strike zone so far tonight. But Torque in the series at Comerica Park hit a sweeper up and in for a double to left. Kind of a wayward breaking ball, as that is a grounder to third. Garcia will spin it to second. The Royals will trade 2 outs for 1 run, and the Tigers take the lead.
Torque tries to cover it. The fastball hits it on the ground. But a run scores. And in these type of games against the Royals, we talked about the one-run games that tend to happen against these two teams. Every run matters.
It certainly does. And you'd really like to have the lead early to put the pressure on Kansas City to make changes before the Tigers have to chase runs with those left-handed pinch hitters.
Well, there's always decisions to make too, because every time you bring somebody in, you do not, if you have the lead, want to make your defense weaker. You know, and the Tigers, with the way the roster is right now, they don't have as many options as they normally would. Zach McKinstry's sitting over there, so he's a pretty flexible piece defensively.
Fastball, strike three. Hao-Yu Lee is the first strikeout of the ball game for either pitcher as the Tigers take the lead 1-0.
Or call sam.com.
If you can't make it out to Comerica Park, stream the game live with a subscription to your new home for Detroit sports. Detroit SportsNet, presented by Bet365. Your subscription includes Tigers games all season long, plus Red Wings starting this fall, subject to national exclusivities. Terms and conditions apply. Subscribe by visiting tigers.com/sportsnet.
You good?
Did I make it? Was there a pitch yet?
Do you need one of those No Country for Old Men oxygen tanks?
No, I'm great. I'm dialed right now.
1-0 to Salvador Perez. And a 5-time Silver Slugger rolls out to short and Zach Short. And there's one away. Montero, 8 pitches in the first inning. A rather efficient night so far.
The breaking ball looks pretty good. And fastball command, first pitch strikes. Like everything that they've wanted Cater to do over the last 2 years to become a quality starting pitcher in the big leagues, he's done. And now he gets a little runway to get multiple starts in a row and just keep it rolling.
Look, the Tigers are in a pocket of 3 games with off days on each side. So you're off yesterday, you're off Monday before the 3 in New York. But if Montero gives you one of those long, strong starts, it helps your Saturday and Sunday so much.
The amount that the bullpen's going to have to be used. They're going to need innings out of guys. Who are the guys that are going to step up and give them the innings that are necessary to not put so much tax on the bullpen? Because you know what usually happens. You start taxing the bullpen in a game that's really one you wouldn't want to pitch Kyle Finnegan in, but you have to.
Yeah.
Right? And then next thing you know, then you need your bullpen because you have a lead, whatever. And then now it's like we don't have enough guys. Or they're not rested.
Especially with the wrinkle of the pitching injuries the Tigers have. Tigers have tied for the most people on the injured list in Major League Baseball starting play today. And Sunday is a bullpen day, a conventional bullpen day, not an opener, but just sort of buffet line of pitchers as Montero strikes out the left-hander Jensen, and there are 2 away.
Started him out with a breaking ball, ended up getting 2 strikes. And when you start chasing Cater Montero's heat at 95 up out of the zone, you're going to do a lot of swinging and missing. His 4-seam's always played up there. Perfect pitch, expand the zone.
He lost a curveball there to Jack Caglione, who's got 4 homers, 5 doubles, and a triple so far this year. The 23-year-old outfielder. Caglione drives it to right field. That is way back there, and it is off the wall. Caglione has a double with 2 down as Perez plays it back in.
Caglione has been hitting the fastball much better in the last couple weeks, and because of that, you see the Tigers trying to attack him with breaking balls. But good adjustment. He stays back on the pitch, puts a great swing on it, gets him a double out of the deal.
Yeah, he's slugging over 500 for the season against fastballs.
Yep, and that's going to make teams really want to pull out breaking balls off speed pitches.
Here's Isaac Collins, who takes a strike. The Royals, by my count, have finished 4 at-bats within 2 pitches tonight. Here's pitch number 2 to Collins. This one's not over yet. 1 ball, 1 strike. A lot of left-handers at the bottom of this order. Jensen, Caglione, Collins is a switch hitter, Massey and Isbell, 5 in a row. Left-handed against Montero.
So I think the changeup's a big pitch for him today. Command the fastball to where you can get to the changeup. He threw some good ones in his last outing.
That's a fastball that messed up the mind of Collins, 1-2. Yeah, the league only has 1 hit against Montero's changeup and Bubic's changeup so far this year. That doesn't mean you should throw it every time.
No, it's a
works with
location
the other
pitch.
pitches.
It's always a location pitch. Down and away is where you want to throw the changeup.
That was down.
And that's a field pitch, the changeup. See right there, it's like when it comes out of your hand, they usually grip it to where there's going to be more fingers in contact with the baseball. It's a little harder, like with the fastball, you got 2 primary fingers on it. Usually with the changeup, it's 3, it's 4. More contact to the baseball, it can be harder to feel it come out of the hand.
That's into right field. It's a base hit. Caglione is around third. The throw from Perez is cut off, and the Royals have tied the game with 2 out in the 2nd inning.
He went with the changeup. It just stayed up a little bit on him. It was away, but just a tick up. Collins able to get under the baseball, hit a line drive to right. No real opportunity at home. They almost tried to backpick Collins, but he retreated back swiftly enough. There was no play.
But to your point, that's what this left-handed bottom of the order does. It forces Montero to rely on a pitch that he hasn't thrown a ton so far this year. So Michael Massey, the Illinois native, takes ball 1. Kansas City had a chance to really make some hay against Cleveland the last couple of days. They won the first 2 games of that series, but lost the last 2, and may have lost Cole Reagans as well, who left with some triceps soreness from his start yesterday. That ball is served to center field. Vierling is back on it. He is camped. He makes the catch, and that retires the side. But each team picks up a run in the 2nd, and we're back to square one.
Chevy drivers need a truck that shows up the same way they do.
It's our Call Sam best call. It's the fewest hits by a team or the league against a certain pitch type for the year. And Chris Bubic's changeup, 1 for 27 on the way in. Tonight, Tanner Bibby's changeup as well. Joe Ryan's curveball. You see, they're mostly pitches you would use against one-handed batter more than the other, but Tolley's fastball makes a lot of sense once you see it close up like we did the other night.
Yeah, that's the superpower I want. He kind of pitches over towards the first base side of the rubber, comes across his body, and that ball was tracking when he threw it. Stays up in the zone, a lot of swing and miss on it, even in the zone, hard to square up. He's probably like, yeah, that's cute, guys. Change-ups and sliders, that's fun, isn't it?
That's nice. 1-1 to Zach Short. And now a ball and 2 strikes. Zach was designated for assignment the other day, which means taken off the 40-man roster. Could have been claimed, wasn't. Re-signed with the Tigers, then came back just today with Jace Young going back down to AAA Toledo. Zach just missed. No challenge. 2-2.
It's a lot of the life of a baseball player most people don't really comprehend. The unknowns, the uncertainty of where am I going to be, who am I going to be with, what's going to happen, but you still got to go out and perform as soon as you have opportunities. It could be a wild ride for certain guys. They're in different cities, different locations, different time zones, all in a couple-day period.
He's done it for years now with the Mets and the Red Sox and the Braves and the Astros, all in the last 2 years to go along with the Tigers now, as that's topped foul. I mean, he's made an entire life out of uprooting his life.
Yeah. Like, hey, how many months you want on that apartment lease? Like,
can you do it week to week?
Exactly.
But give him a lot of credit. This is a 6-year big league career now. He is well liked everywhere he's been. And there's a reason that he keeps getting phone calls from people to be a part of a roster that wants to win.
Yeah, he's really, really good with the glove, and he's got pop. Shorty can run into him with the best of them.
He takes ball 4 here. It is a leadoff walk. So the second walk for Bubic. And Vierling will bat with a runner on. This is where if the Tigers can just build a big inning. I mean, we said it in, I think it was July of last year when the Mariners came in and the Blue Jays came in, right? And you saw them put together a 4-run inning, a 5-run inning. The Tigers went a while in that second half of the season without big innings, and it just alleviates a lot of the tension.
String together some hits, and it's quality at bats. Zach Short just had a quality at bat, but Matt Vierling has to follow it up with the same intent. Have a plan. What are you trying to execute?
Tried to turn on that. It's a fly ball to left. Collins is back at the track, leaping into the wall, and he cannot make the catch. It is a foul ball. That was in play for a couple different results there. It is foul and strike 1.
He was tracking it the whole way, but he knew he was about to run out of room. It just hit too high up on the wall. But you see what they wanted to do there, go up and in against Vierling, and he almost turned on it. Not quite home run distance. Normally that'll get you some change-ups away at some point. Continuing in the bat.
Yeah, you would think you don't want anything like that to happen again.
Yeah, if a guy shows that he can turn on your fastball up and in. Change up away is usually pretty good after a swing like that.
1-1. That's a changeup that kind of lingered up. 2 balls and a strike.
If he can't command that pitch, Jason, it's going to be a rough night for him. Because that's the pitch that's going to neutralize a couple of these big right-handed bats that the Tigers have in the order. If he just has to rely on the fastball and the fastball only.
Look out. Vierling cracks it to center field. Isbell is back. He's at the track. He makes the catch in a similar spot to where Vierling put away a couple balls in the first 2 innings.
No matter how much they try to bring the walls in the stadium, until it gets to about into June and July, this place will just absolutely gobble up fly balls. Like well hit, but you're out.
Yeah, it's a jungle out there.
It just has always early in the year been a place where balls just go to die.
Rolled to second base. Massey gets to it, creates 1 out, and that's all she wrote. Short out at second base, McGonigal to first. What's weird about this ballpark, though, is once you get to July and the summer months, it does feel like the ball really does tend to fly to the alleyways.
It really will.
It flips completely.
It goes from a very difficult place to hit a home run to where even Andy Dirks can go dead central.
Oh, come on.
I wasn't known for going dead central, but I did.
You can. It'll make you smile like an 8-year-old.
Yeah, it will.
Here's Jahmai Jones, who checks his swing and takes a strike.
Not that you can ask James Shields about it or anything, but
you got big game, James?
He's in the book, Jason.
See, he doesn't need to hear about that. He gets all that stuff about the Bartolo Colon homer anyway.
Yeah.
He doesn't need that shrapnel from you.
He was in shock after it went over the fence.
You didn't say anything to him, did you?
No, he's a competitive guy.
He is.
I always liked him.
Me too.
He would come in and he was a great competitor on the mound, that makes it more fun as a player. I feel like when you know that the guy's going to give you everything he's got every outing, and you just get a battle.
At the end of his career, he knew that he didn't have the electric stuff that he had very early on, even halfway through his career. But watching him with the White Sox, he was inventing pitches. He was changing arm angles. I mean, it was all guile. And he, He competed, man.
He really did. He pitched his tail off every outing.
1-2. There goes McGonigal again. This is foul. Kevin's going to have to go back to first. Kevin does everything like it's going to be his last time doing it.
He gets after it.
He really does.
I like that guy. Gritty, tough, very, very talented. Like you combine those things, you got a ball player.
One hopper, he takes off, and Jensen didn't know which base to throw to. He had to get around Jahmai Jones, who's entitled to the batter's box. McGonigal read it perfectly, and it's exactly what you're talking about.
Expect to take the next base at all times. Never get flat-footed at first base. You see, as soon as it goes down in the dirt, McGonigal just puts his head down and runs. Make him make a play. And Jahmai Jones did the correct thing. A lot of guys would have bailed out of the box and given the catcher plenty of room to make that play, but he has the right to the box. He doesn't have to move. So good job by Jahmai to get a runner in scoring position.
Yeah, that's veteran stuff for Jahmai Jones. Forcing a tough angle for Jensen. And a ground ball to third. That's Michael Garcia's jurisdiction, and the inning is over. Still tied at 1.
There, folks.
It could be anybody, literally anybody that's put on a Tiger uniform. It's our Tiger of the day, and I'm told we're guessing again. 315 games played with the Tigers, including the playoffs in the World Series. So it's a playoff-bound Tiger. Okay? You got it yet?
Nope.
All right, next clue. Minor League Player of the Year and MLB Gold Glove finalist.
That's getting very close to somebody I may or may not know.
Could the wheel have spun and landed
I think it
on
may have.
Andy Dirks? Is there a chance? Oh my goodness. This is totally random. We assign a number with a random number, as here's a fly ball to left field. Green is back on it. A random number to every player in Tigers history, and we use a randomizer. Has contributed to Ray Delay Questions.
We hit the jackpot.
Unbelievable.
Ding, 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 ding. Casper Wells, of course.
Of course, it's Casper Wells. Oh, look at the picture they got of Andy Dirks.
Coming in hot to third base. Got the flow out the back. What good times I had in a Tigers uniform.
Is that going into third base with a tarp?
Could have been either.
That's Haven, Kansas's own Andy Dirks.
That's right.
You made such a name for yourself in Detroit and beyond.
Yeah, we've done well. I've been blessed with a lot of opportunities. And been surrounded by some really good people.
And us.
Hey, Andy, I've got a question for you.
What do you got, Daniela?
Can you still grow the hair like that?
You know I can.
Why
I got
don't
great
you?
hair. That's a good question.
Yeah, okay, think about that.
I mean, let's do a poll on X. Who thinks Andy Dirks should grow his hair back out like he did in 2012?
Oh, that's a riveting poll. Fly ball to center field.
You're not on right now?
Two down.
There's no poll for you?
I think you should.
I vote yes, so we've
Party
got
in the
2
back.
yeses.
Yeah. Do it.
Well, it takes it's not like it's just overnight. It happens. You gotta.
I'm going to post a poll on X right now. It's happening.
Great. And then post 3 more lip sync videos on TikTok.
We took a break today. We might have to do 2 tomorrow.
Oh my, doubleheader. 2 down, Bobby Witt Jr. Royals are swinging early here against Montero, and he doesn't mind it.
That's kind of been the approach against Montero, though, because he throws so many strikes.
Yep.
He's gotten so good at throwing first pitch strikes. You can't sit around and wait. And if he can get to the slider, he can throw that slider away. He can throw that fastball up and punch these guys out, too.
Rolled to third, high hop. McGonigal played it well and throws him out.
Great athleticism right there by McGonigal.
Don't blink. 6 pitches with Tiger of the Day, Andy Dirks.
Have the meat.
If the Tigers score 3 or more runs in this game, you can visit a participating Arby's location tomorrow and receive a free small order of curly fries. There you see a file photo of Malibu from the American Gladiators.
I would have been a good American Gladiator. You would have pulled it off.
There's like sort of like a
Laser.
Midwestern surfer situation going on. Taser. Taser the Gladiator.
Give me on that ball machine, and you try to do the little, go from one element to the next.
Yeah, barrel roll to the crossbow. That'd be a solid video. 1-1 to Dylan Dingler. It's Dingler, Green, and Perez against the left-hander Chris Bubic. That sweeper bearing inside on Dingler. That's a pretty sharp breaking ball and wide breaking ball from Bubic.
It's one he hasn't really used yet either up until this point.
1-2. Fouled away against the Croatian sensation Chris Bubic, who grew up a Giants fan in the San Jose area. Like A.J. Hinch, an ACC legend who went to Stanford. 1-2. Ooh, he locked him up. That thing has a couple different forms.
That was the backdoor variety. And when you're really thinking he's a fastball changeup guy, you're trying to defend against those two pitches. This one starts way up and out of the zone. And you give up on it pretty much instantly. But it catches that top rail. What a pitch.
One down for Riley Green, who's got an on-base streak now of 19 games. And during that streak has an on-base percentage north of 440 coming into today. So basically 1 out of every 2 times he's threatening to get on base during this streak. And that's a rocket to first, and Pasquantino can't find it. That's a base hit for Riley Green, or it should be, with 1 out in the 4th.
That ball was smoked. He hit the sweeper earlier, and this is the sinker. Pasquantino gets laser blindness for a half second after the tennis ball was shot in his direction. Anytime they kick away like that, as an infielder, you try to bat them down to where they stay in front of you. But when a ball's hit that hard, you're really just trying to get a glove in front of it.
Andy, I'm going to say this. You played here. We love it here. That is not an error. They called that an error.
Yeah, that'll get overturned.
Yeah.
That ball was probably over 100 off the bat. Sometimes that plays into it. What was it off the bat?
104.
Yeah, I'd say that's a hit.
Look, official scoring is a very difficult job, but there's no way that's an error.
No. I mean, basically all you have time to do is try to throw your glove in front of it. And as a left-handed defender, too, to have to try to backhand it makes it even more difficult.
Oh, 2. That is a swing and a miss, and it's strike 3. There are 2 away.
That four-seam rides a little bit. See if Torque can get some redemption. He got him a fastball over the middle of the plate, rolled over it to third base his last at bat. See if he can get a fastball and get it up in the air somewhere. You know, if Dingler watches this at bat. Oh, look at this guy. There he is, Patrick Mahomes.
Hey, there he is. Hanging out with the fam. Right over by the on-deck circle, it looked like. 1-0. Inside. But you were saying about Dingler, like,
yeah,
you're going to throw that sweeper.
Yeah, oh, that's the one you throw him.
Yeah.
The one you threw me was Nasty and Nasty, the brothers. And then you throw that thing that's just a floating nothing, that's a ball out of hand and never comes back. Appreciate you. Thanks for saving your best for me.
I like vindictive bench sitting Andy Dirks. Twisted to third. That's Garcia. And that's the end of the inning. Both teams only put a couple quarters in the parking meter tonight.
Rallyhouse.com.
The next giveaway of the season is Saturday, May 16th. When your Tigers take on the Toronto Blue Jays, be one of the first through the gates and receive a pink jersey presented by Carmanis Cancer Institute. It's a giveaway you won't want to miss. First pitch is at 1:10. Visit tigers.com/giveaways for more information.
During the break, Andy, they changed the Riley Green ball to a hit. So well done here by the official scorer for Kansas City. Vinny Pasquantino climbs the ladder on a fastball. and flies it to right field. Wencel Perez. Kader Montero could throw like a 15-inning complete game based on his pitch count right now. He's thrown 31 pitches for 10 outs.
The Royals are attacking early and not finding the grass to get knocks. A lot of quick outs, first pitch, second pitch, but that goes to what he's created. So now his scouting report is you need to swing early against Kader Montero to have success. That's right where you want to be as a starting pitcher. Throw a lot of strikes early in counts. Because the card used to be on him, be patient.
Yeah.
He'll throw balls, he'll walk you. So great job by Kader to continue to develop his game.
That first pitch was close enough that he gets the swing and miss on the second pitch, that curveball.
So many competitive pitches. It's like maybe, nah. Okay, it's off by a ball. Comes right back with the curveball.
Fastball to the outside corner. I mean, that is threading a needle on 3 straight pitches, honestly, as the hot corner says his in-zone rate is the highest in Major League Baseball at this moment.
And that'll get early swings. And he's got the stuff that it plays in the zone, and he can trust it.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. That is really veteran-type pitching that entire at-bat.
Yeah, once he gets this 1-1 pitch in here, the knuckle curve, he knows that Perez is trying to get the head out on a heater, gets him to expand a little bit on a four-seam fastball. And when you're dotting spots, even if you're off the edge a little bit, the hitters will start swinging at it because you're around the zone so much.
Which is why Montero actually, they sort of label the strike zone on StatCast, and one of the zones is waste pitches, right, that are pretty far away from the zone. He's actually thrown more waste pitches this year than he had in the previous 2 seasons, which is a little surprising. But the reason he's not really getting burned for it is because it's with intent sometimes.
Yeah.
To then bait somebody into something else. There's more of a plan pretty clearly.
Especially with 2 strikes. He'll throw the slider like away to some hitters that he thinks may chase, as opposed to just try to throw it for a strike and then you make a mistake 0-2.
I would bet you his ball 1 waste pitches are much lower than previously, and his 2 strike waste pitches, as you're saying, are higher.
I would agree. Just from observation.
Two and 1 to Jensen, who struck out in the second. Each team got a run in the second inning, and that changeup is nasty. And Jensen, coming in, had the only hit on a Montero changeup all year, and it was below the zone back in April.
You see, he got revved up for a fastball, thinking 100%, I'm going to sell out, I'm going to hit it hard on the pull side, threw the wrinkle in, pulled the string on it.
2-2, nice attempt at a frame by Dingler. It's 3-2. Yes, sir. Strike 3. No challenge. 7 in a row. Retired by Montero.
Do with it what you want. Backdoor breaking ball. He didn't see that one until right there.
Tigers fans, join us at Comerica Park May 15th to the 17th for Strikeout Cancer Weekend presented by Karmanos Cancer Institute. Each day will drive awareness of various cancers. Friday has a themed fireworks show. Saturday has a pink jersey giveaway, and exclusive concession items will be available all weekend long. Learn more and get your tickets now at tigers.com/strikeoutcancer. And awful news in the Detroit area the past couple days with the loss of media legend Pat Caputo, who passed away just the other day, and so many outpourings of support for Pat and his work. As here is a fly ball to right field by Hao-Yu Lee, and there is one away. Obviously, Pat said some things last year about our telecast that went viral, and I gotta say, I appreciate it. I like people who speak their mind. I like people who believe in what they think, And I don't know that people would expect us to say that, but it's important that people be able to say how they feel about a piece of entertainment. Never got the chance to say that to Pat, but that's real. We need more people who say what's in their heart, and it's a big loss for Detroit.
I agree. I think that's how we all get better.
That's right.
The Detroit sports community is pretty tight-knit around the board. Like, pretty much everybody knows everybody to a degree.
Yeah.
Maybe not in person, but knows the who's who's and what's happening. So anytime you lose a voice in the community, it's painful, you know, because you loved it. I love it when there's a little bit of all the discussions that we get to have about sports in Detroit, and everybody that partakes in it, all the fans, the media personalities, everybody is one big unit at the end of the day.
We need people who are real. And Pat very clearly was just that. Daniela?
Lucky enough to spend some time hosting Inside Hockey Town with him. He was a big hockey guy and a big baseball guy. And there's one thing about Inside Hockey Town that I will personally make sure is always going to remain a thing. And you take callers on the show, and we have a pair of tickets to a Red Wings game to give away on every show. And his number one rule was no begging for the tickets. And if you came on the air and you said, hey, I really want those tickets, he was like, nope, sorry, you're not getting them. You're begging for the tickets. So whoever is hosting Inside Hockey Town from now on, I will make sure that that rule remains a thing, because it was one of my favorite parts of the whole show.
That is awesome.
He said it at the beginning of every show, no begging for the tickets, and you would get one every single show.
Amazing.
Stuck to his guns.
It's a walk for Zach Short. One out, Matt Vierling, the batter. 1-1 tie here in the fifth. And that is a strike to Vierling.
Walked the 9-hole consecutive times. You got to make them pay when they walk the 9-hole. Get that guy on base. Vierling flew out in the deepest part of right center field his last at bat.
Two strikes on Vierling, who's nothing for two. McGonigal's next. This game's been tied since the second inning. Each team got a run in the second. Time called by Vierling.
He's trying to figure out if he's going to buzz him with that fastball up and in, or stay with the changeup away. Because you know you got to cover a lot of pitches here with two strikes against Bubic. He can come up with the fastball, and you have to concede to a degree a pitch. And usually you don't want to concede the fastball, especially if you can go up and in. You have to stay on that enough to at least foul it off. With the changeup, you know you're going to have to wait longer. So look to hit the ball to right field, and then trust your hands are quick enough to get to the fastball.
To third, Garcia, nifty pick. String it to second for one. That's all they'll get, but you got Gold on the left side of that infield, and Garcia with a slick play.
What could have been a double off the bat, Garcia does a nice job. Perfect footwork to make the sliding grab, enough to collect his feet and throw it to second. With the speed of Vierling, there's really no chance at first, but to keep the ball, not only to keep it in front, but to get it second, to get the lead out, it's a big play.
So combined, Garcia and Witt are plus 14 outs above average so far.
That's solid. And that gives pitchers confidence to throw pitches that'll get ground balls when they know the guys out there can gobble them up.
In this day and age, when people are playing for contact at least somewhat more, right? The home run ball still is king. It can flip a game quicker than anything in baseball. But to have that kind of a left side of the infield gives you some leeway in a division that is so tightly compacted in that games between the Tigers and Royals and Guardians usually end up 1-1 in the fifth at some point in a series. Every out matters. 1-2 to McGonigal. And a throw to first by Bubic.
Maryland was dancing around a little bit. They put McGonigal in motion twice. If you're going to go off the lefty, though, it's going to be on that first move. So you pick your time when you think he's going to go home, and you just go as soon as he lifts the right foot up.
Like that, Veerling is off, and McGonigal pops it up. Left of home, Jensen, the catcher, runs out of room.
But he's slow enough to home plate that if you guess right, you got a bag.
And if somebody's slow enough to home plate where you feel like you're not taking advantage of something if you don't use it.
Yes, you need to. If you can steal a bag against somebody, do it. And Carter Jensen isn't the best guy behind home plate at throwing down to second either. So you got a combination that you can run on. In one-run games, what do you need to do? Take the base. Every 90 feet matters.
Every game between the Tigers and Royals has been a one-run game this year as McGonigal sprays that foul again.
And in this situation too, Jason, you got McGonigal at the plate with 2 strikes. If you do get thrown out at second, he'll lead off the next inning. If not, get a jump if they pick you off. Sometimes you got a little risk and reward proposition here.
1-2. Strike 3 on a slider. Halfway home, tied at 1.
Here's our Comerica Bank game summary. It's all Cater Montero. You see the fastball up in the zone, getting swing and miss, the sinker down, getting the ground ball from a dangerous bat. And then that changeup we talked about, neutralizing the lefty, the knuckle curve's been on point, getting swing and miss, and backdooring it. Command of all of his pitches tonight.
Yeah, 41 of them. He hasn't had to throw very many. It's basically, English class for you in high school. It's the Cliff's Notes version,
which I
Cater
love.
Montero.
That's what I thought books were up until about 2 years ago.
Yeah, Romeo meets Juliet. Something happens, and then it's sad.
The families got mad, and then boom, it was over.
2 strikeouts on the curveball for Montero. That's his most since September when he had that stretch run to help the Tigers into the postseason in 24. That outstanding outing against the Rockies. He was very good against the Orioles that September as well.
Saw Caglione right there just shake his head. He's in a 1-1 count, and he just paints a fastball.
One, two. He did it again. Strike 3. Did he challenge or not?
Oh, wait a minute. He's retreating.
It looked like he was going to challenge. Dexter Kelly pointed.
He was.
Didn't he tap his head?
He 100% taps his head on a nasty changeup. This is that fastball, and Caglione just kind of shook his head out like, what? How is he painting like that? And then right here, watch. And he's like, no, I didn't. I should have.
But it would have been a ball.
I should have, but he didn't.
There is an epidemic of batters not putting their money where their mouth is across the league. That's not about Caglione.
No,
it's about the league. And umpires, I have to imagine,
are loving it a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah. Oh, you thought it was, but you're not sure, are you?
Yeah.
Because it's hard, isn't it?
It's hard every time.
So go ahead and walk away.
That's right.
Yep. Not so easy now, is it?
That looked a little bit low, and no challenge from Collins there.
But this goes back to your point, how we've seen probably teams not challenge quite enough.
Yeah.
But then it's always like when they do challenge more and they're wrong, then you're like, well, you probably should have saved one for later in the game.
Right.
So everybody's just, it's just like the fuzz on the TV.
Yeah.
That's what their brains are like. As soon as there's one goes, it's like,
No, it just kind of fries everybody because the batters have to make the choice right away. The catchers right away. The pitchers right away. No help in the dugout, nothing.
I think sometimes too, and we talked about how framing, everybody's worried about ABS. Is framing still going to be important? Caglione looked back when Dingler caught the ball, and when that glove is in the middle of the plate, you got to imagine, man, was that closer than I thought it was?
There's a pop-up third base side. McGonigal in foul territory makes the catch. The Royals catchers were actually working on challenging during the pregame as framing and challenging and the whole thing as part of their daily work, right? It's some framing, some challenging, but catcher work was happening to evaluate their catchers behind the plate.
And we've seen some of the guys who come up from AAA that have been using the system. They're a little more advanced with it. I've seen McGonigal's been very good with it, but he's used to it. This first year is going to be a little bit of the Wild West for the ABS Challenge system, but once it becomes a complete part of the game, teams will and players will learn to adjust to it and get better and better and better at it as the years go on.
But what I love about it is Major League Baseball has teams on the run, right? Teams are having to chase the optimal way to do a bunch of things.
Yeah.
And so if teams get too good at it, Major League Baseball, and I know you have to bargain for it sometimes, but there are also unilateral abilities of the commissioner to institute rules. You can keep teams on the run always.
Always. Here's a new one for you. Try to figure this one out,
Yeah.
guys.
1-1 to Michael Massey. Montero has retired 9 in a row. But credit where it is due. Major League umpires possess a very specific, highly tuned skill, and they deserve to be lauded for it. It is an extraordinarily difficult job with pitch shapes as they are. And now you are seeing batters and catchers and pitchers alike be confused about the strike zone with power in their hands. And that is vindicating in some way to a profession, umpires, that all they do is get absolutely crushed publicly for missing key pitches. Now there's recourse, and we are seeing that absolutely nobody, as we always know in the human condition, absolutely nobody is perfect. Except for the Royals and Tigers, who only play one-run games.
Our own.
Tied at 1 in the 6th inning, and Grayson Clothiers is the official wardrobe provider of the DSN broadcast team. You can see the Grayson logo here. They've got the shop on Woodward, and they're going to start stocking Tigers stuff. This is wonderful gear.
Look, and it comes back, and I thought it was going to get wrinkly, and then once you get it out for a while, it's not wrinkly. It's very, very nice.
You don't even have to iron it.
Well, don't try to iron it. That's
no.
That's an
you don't
Andy.
have to
no,
iron
you definitely don't have
to. You don't have to iron it. But they have been a phenomenal partner, and we are very proud to have multiple broadcast teams already. This is not a joke. This is not me hard selling you on Grayson. Multiple broadcast teams have come up to us and said, "You guys have the best gear in the league."
It's not even close. Some of the polos some of these guys wear, it's like, and some of the suits some of these guys wear, I'm like, this is so much better quality than the suit that you got married in 1995.
Hey, I promise I'm not trying to make this the Rip on Andy Dirk show today, but I do have to say, if those things stay not wrinkled after being packed in his suitcase, that is saying something.
That is so true.
That is saying something.
It's a Wild West in that.
Well, we went on a flight last year. We left town and we went on a commercial flight, and Daniela had to put stuff in my suitcase because hers was overweight.
That's how I know.
So I opened my suitcase and they're like, "What is this?"
No, it's like a scene from Spaceballs when Daniela drags her luggage through the airport.
It is. It really is.
1-2 on Jahmai Jones, and that is fouled back.
Okay. Well, speaking of ripping on Andy Dirks, I've been on our
segued
Twitter
yourself.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Oh, look at that.
This. And a poll update. We have 216 votes in. An astounding 81% yes, Andy Dirks should grow out his hair.
Oh, yeah.
moment.
Let's go with the flow.
That kind of looked like if Andy Dirks met Travis Jankowski.
Yeah. Me and Jankowski got similar vibes.
You can borrow my hair extensions to test it out, Andy, if you want.
I mean, it could also be Joe Dirt. Just depends on how you want to go with it.
I think you should grow it out like that for Sunday night.
That's a tough ask. I got 2 days.
Hustle it up.
Go get some Rogaine and just really start getting it. Be like a chia pet over here.
Yeah. 3-2 on Jahmai Jones, top of the 6th. We're tied at 1. Opening game of 3 here in Kansas City. And the 3-2 just misses ball 4, and we are going to get a challenge.
A pitcher challenge.
Challenging the call of a ball.
Bubic thought it was a strike. Jensen did not. Bubic did. Let's see. It's an ABS challenge presented by T-Mobile. It is ball 4. That's why they leave it to the catchers.
I know. There's just so much emotion, Jason, for a pitcher when he thinks, yeah, I nailed that spot, and he's all amped up. He wants the call, and I feel like for pitchers, the emotion plays into it too much.
But that's exactly what you said about framing. I think Jensen framed him into believing that was a strike. His own catcher made him think that was a strike, and so if the catcher doesn't challenge it, you almost have to let it be because he knows how much he manipulated that pitch in the first place, don't you?
Yes, I agree. Because the catcher knows the zone well enough, and he's trying to steal strikes for his guys and at least make hitters try to have to challenge.
It's a huge turn of events. They lose a challenge, the Royals do, and it's a walk as well. Now Dingler rolls it foul, and if you watch the glove of Jensen, he does try to swing that pitch back and down. He frames it in a pretty big way.
And you see, when did Bubic actually ask for it? It wasn't until after the frame was complete and that glove sitting there just at that top rail of the strike zone.
You're exactly right. 0-1. Now that's a strike, and it looked like Jensen framed that into a strike, but Dingler, who's also a catcher, didn't challenge. There's a lot at play here in your mind. Yeah, that's probably off by a hair, but it's not worth it.
I just think it'd be very difficult for pitchers to be the one that's always in charge of challenging. Too much going on upstairs, too much emotion. I mean, you're out there competing. You want it to be a strike. You just threw a baseball as hard as you can. 50-some times, 60 times, 82 times in this case.
Yeah. 0-2. It's fouled away. I mean, imagine how accurate an umpire would be if he had to simulate throwing a ball as the ball was coming.
Not very accurate.
You have no chance.
No. Yeah, that's a tough gig. And that's what we've seen. The catchers have been by far the best at challenging. Pitchers haven't been great at it.
2 strikes. That misses. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's not that dissimilar of a pitch to the one that Bubic challenged. That's up as well.
It also gives you a little bit of that pitcher-catcher conflict. Well, if I didn't challenge it, buddy, what do you think? I'm not going to try to challenge one that you got?
Kind of who's in charge,
yeah,
who's steering the ship here.
You don't trust me?
And I did, this is nothing against Carter Jensen, but I wonder if he does that if Salvador Perez is behind the plate.
Probably not. I think Jensen's been one of the worst at challenging pitches in baseball.
One, 2. Hit to short. Bobby Witt plays it on a hop, pries it out of his glove, and gets one out at second base. The machinery wasn't exactly well oiled there, but he got the job done anyway. There's 1 away, and now a message from Figer Law.
If you've been injured in a motorcycle crash, make Figer Law your first call. Figer Law. All we do is win. All we do is win.
Bobby Witt Jr. floats at shortstop, and he did there in the waning sunlight of a Friday evening in Kansas City, Missouri. Riley Green faces a sinker that he swings right through. 0-1. This has been a fairly taxing inning for Bubic. Long counts for Jones and Dingler. Riley Green hit a missile to first base for a knock in the 4th. He also doubled and scored the lone Tigers run in the 2nd. One. Fouled away on that sweeper that at points today you could argue is one of Bubic's best pitches as the bullpen is loosening with Nick Mears for Kansas City. He threw 23 pitches just yesterday for the Royals. 2 balls, 2 strikes, but they are looking right-handed first. See if A.J. Hinch brings in the lefties to try to load up on runs in the 6th, and then use the left-hander Strom maybe later in the game. 2-2. Riley watches strike 3. Might have been challenge worthy for Riley Green.
Yeah, it's that just a tick above the zone pitch that he likes to throw. Riley didn't offer at it, which is a good sign. Riley's been so much better this year at not swinging at the high pitch. That time, though, it was close. Could have challenged, but thought better of it.
But that's one of those where, yeah, Dingler didn't want to challenge on 0-1 because it's not the conclusion of an at-bat. There, you have a runner on and 1 out, and one of your best hitters at the plate.
I know it.
1-0. Nice catch by Jensen. 1 ball, 1 strike. I think what we've learned as well is that Major League Baseball got the scarcity right. They got 2 challenges. Each team does, and you're just like, you don't want to be down to 1, so everybody's so afraid to use that first one because then you have no margin after that.
Yeah.
3's too many.
That's why, like, Ricky Henderson would have used him. Ricky would have been like, that's not a strike.
He would have said, Ricky thinks that's a ball,
Yeah.
and challenged as he said it. Right?
Yeah, he would have for sure.
Absolutely.
Ricky knows the zone.
He would have led in third person challenge.
Some of the great characters that have played this game, man.
3-1. In the air, left center field toward the alleyway, and that is down. It's a hit. Isbell gets to it. Here comes Dingler around third. Throw to the plate. He didn't have the ball. Tigers take the lead. So close to the final out of the inning. Instead, it's a 2-1 advantage. And frankly, Joey Cora nearly came to the plate with Dylan Dingler.
He knew he was going to have to get on his horse. Perez hits it pretty good, but the ball doesn't even make it to the warning track. It's just in the gap, and Dingler's one of the best running catchers around. Joey says, you got to go. Bobby Witt put a perfect throw on it, but Carter Jensen couldn't come up with it. A little short hop right at the end of the play, right there.
Then after the ball gets away, Joey Cora comes, you see him jump into the picture. He comes down the third base line just to make sure.
I knew you could make it. I knew you could make it. Touch the plate. All right, there's playing ball. Runs are hard to come by right now, Jason. Sometimes you have to dive and do all sorts of fun stuff to get them. Tigers up 2-1.
That's what makes Jack, Jack.
Who's going to win the race here? It's a double in the left center field gap, and Dylan Dingler gets on his horse. Isbell throws it to Bobby Witt Jr. The relay looks like it's going to beat him. Dylan looks at the plate. He comes in hot. Bounce. Out. Get back to the bag. Joey had him the whole way. Joey was about 10 feet from home plate when he went back to touch it?
As Dylan came back, Joey was going to, by proxy, like a proxy vote, he was just going to go touch home for Dylan to make sure. New pitcher is Nick Mears, but Joey Cora sending Dingler there, and it was a danger, but the Tigers don't really care about your danger on the base path, and they take a 2-1 lead. That is heaved foul by Torkelson. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jensen had a chance to make that final out at the plate as Mears the wall side windows. Pitching change here in the 6th.
He's got a good fastball slider combination, the 4-seam. He can throw it up in the zone. He gets a little swing and miss.
That's a line drive to left field. That's a fair baseball. Here comes run number 3. Torque rips one down the boundary and left. Perez scores. It is 3-1 Tigers. Leadoff walk, the 4th walk of the game for Kansas City, got us here.
That's a backup slider. It did not go down in a way the way it was designed to be pitched. And Torque does a nice job. Stay on it, stay inside of it to keep it fair. That's an easy ball to hook foul. But when you stay inside of the baseball far enough, you get you a nice double out of it, get you an RBI, and you get a 2-run lead.
And you get a chance for Zach McKinstry to pinch hit. Tigers are third in baseball in 2-out runs scored. That is a trait that you'd like to keep up as much as you can. So both of those runs are charged to Bubic. And we, with this meeting on the mound involving Brian Sweeney, get a message from your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers.
F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 49 years and counting. Right now, enjoy employee pricing on our lineup of F-150s. You pay what we pay. Think Ford first.
Here comes McKinstry, and look at it. He's rocking some new spikes, man. Those are nice.
You like them?
I don't know yet. They'll have to grow on me. I like him if he gets a hit. If he gets a couple knocks with those on, just keep wearing them. He'll throw a changeup to a lefty to go along with that fastball slider.
Zach takes a strike. He's got his dancing shoes on.
Yeah, those are just different color. I haven't seen a Tigers player rock anything that color.
Out away 0-2, but this pinch hit opportunity, you're going to get Z-Mac in the game at some point for defensive purposes.
Absolutely.
Anyway. So this is why we said earlier, the Tigers are up. They don't have to chase runs with the power. They use McKinstry, who is a valuable weapon offensively and defensively, an all-star last year for the Tigers. As he sweeps that foul.
And he just coming back off injury. And sometimes it takes you a couple games after you come back to get back in your groove, to be able to go out and just really let loose and play the game the way you want to play it. You're always, no matter how many games you get, there's always that little bit of protective sense.
Left side of the infield, Garcia has to wait for it and throw it, and he does. Get McKinstry to retire the side. Tigers lead 3-1 on the Bet365 scoreboard. Joey was going to score run number 4.
Have the meat.
5 innings from Kader Montero. The Tigers have a 3-1 lead for him, and he has been extremely efficient. Our Bet365 odds update. 5.5 strikeouts is the number. He's got 4 of them. The toughest thing about a strikeout is it requires at least 3 pitches, and Kansas City hasn't been super eager to get to pitch number 3 in an at-bat. Ball 1 to Isbell.
A lot of early contact. And he's done a nice job of keeping it off the barrel. There's been a couple balls that were hit decent tonight. Vinny Pasquantino hit one to right center. But for the most part, it's been a lot of this.
Pitch number 2.
Ground balls within the first 2 or 3 pitches.
Zach Short makes the catch. There's one away.
What you love as a pitcher and as a manager. When you're managing a squad and your pitcher's going out there and they're just swinging early contact, not a lot of damage, you know that then you can allow your bullpen to potentially get a little bit more rest.
Which sets you up beautifully for Sunday, when you've already called it publicly a bullpen game.
Yeah.
Montero's max pitches this year is 88. That was against Milwaukee on the 21st of April, immediately after his start against Kansas City. You see Garcia take one there. But again, Montero all over the zone. It's pitch number 2 that wipes out Garcia, and 4 pitches to 2 outs to open the 6th.
Stuff plays in the zone. Sometimes we get the sinker under the hands. The 4-seam is riding above the barrel.
You ever play bingo?
Well, of course I played bingo. Who hasn't played bingo?
You know when sometimes the balls come out and you're like, is there ever going to be an O?
Yeah.
So I need an O.
I need an O.
All of them are on the left side of the card for Montero. 18 and 11 and 6 and 13.
Yeah, and you need like 0-64.
Yeah. And you know Hazel's going to get bingo ahead of you.
Yeah, and she's stacked over there with those small numbers. She's just a veteran. She knows what's going on. She knows the guy who reads the balls.
Got that grin on her face with her blotter out. She's got 4 different color blotters.
Yes.
6 cards, and they all have the B's marked.
Then there's a big conspiracy because, come to find out, Tom and her had a thing. And that's how she kept beating everybody. He loaded the balls in her favor.
You really are Larry David, aren't you? 1-1 is lined to left field and down for a hit for Witt. All the way to the wall. He might have 3 on his mind. He'll slow to a stop at second base. It's a 2-out double for Bobby Witt Jr. on the 3rd pitch of his at-bat. And the Royals have their first base runner since the 2nd inning.
Cater's just been attacking the zone all day. This is a 4-seam that just ends up being center cut. And Bobby was all over it. They want that pitch up and in. And when you miss down and over the middle, that guy will hammer it in the gap. Now you got to get to work here against Vinny Pasquantino. He's done a pretty good job with him. He almost hit a ball out to right center off a slider and just missed a fastball early in the game that was up. So this is a dangerous guy. He has yet to throw him a changeup.
That's a slider. He clips the edge. 0-1.
And Cater knows it. So does Dylan. That's why they say, hey, let's start with a backdoor breaking ball.
Witt at second. 0-1 for Pasquantino. It's a fastball away. 1 ball, 1 strike. What do you like the rest of the sequence here, considering he's seen the fastball slider combo?
Keep it away.
Yeah.
Like, do not allow him to turn on something. Change up away. If you're going to go fastball, go up and away.
Just missed the zone. 2-1. But to your point, he's seen 3 pitches well away from the body of the Italian nightmare.
And he's pitched Perez so well that you just hate to make a mistake here to Vinny Pasquantino. He's got a weak ground ball and a punch out.
Salvi
Perez.
does, yeah. 2-1. Same spot, missed it outside, and it doesn't seem like he particularly cares, to your point. If he's going to hit the corner, he'll hit it. If he misses, he misses.
And I think it's very smart when you got a hitter like Vinny Pasquantino, who's already taken 2 good swings against Cater.
Yep, ball 4. So the crowd reacts. They'll love an extra base runner, but Montero, it felt like, did pitch around the power of Pasquantino at least.
Without question. And he's handled Perez pretty well. And Dylan Dingler's going to go out. They're going to have a meeting at the mound. Chris Fetter's going to come out. They're going to remind Cater of what they've done to be successful against Salvi. They've thrown him the breaking ball away and the fastball up and away. That's pretty much what they've done. And Dylan's telling him, you don't have to throw a strike. He will expand the zone. Keep it away. Don't let him do damage.
You have the added layer of 2 countrymen here. Cater Montero was 11 years old in Venezuela when Salvador Perez made his major league debut with the Kansas City Royals back in 2011. Montero grew up watching Salvador Perez, and here with 2 on and 2 out, you have essentially the game on the line. Montero's got some pitches left, but what Salvi saw was the kitchen sink.
Yep, both types of fastballs and the knuckle curve. Key, though, is to get ahead. If you can get ahead, you can really get him to expand.
He lived on that outside corner, and there he does with a sinker downstairs. He stayed away from Salvador Perez's body as well.
Yeah, he's probably not going to try to come inside, I wouldn't imagine, unless it's in off the plate. Just the success he's had away from him so far. Throw the knuckle curve away.
2 on, 2 out. And the 0-1 from Montero. Stays away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jensen is next. He has had the 2 longest combined at-bats against Montero tonight. He struck out twice, but he's seen a total of 11 pitches from the left-hand side as Montero wants the signs again. Dingler goes to PitchCom, and that was way outside. That was all bollocksed up. I don't know that Montero knew what they were throwing.
Yeah, this is where you just take a quick second. Collect your thoughts. The nerves start kicking in a little bit, Benetti, and that's where you got to calm yourself and just get ready. Just throw the baseball.
That's why I bring up the knowledge of each other.
You're throwing to one of your heroes.
That's right.
I mean, it's just the reality of what's happening.
2-1. Oh, boy.
That's how you go in. If you're going to go in, you go in. And you know Salvi's looking away, leaning over the plate. That's a really gutsy call. Great execution on a pitch.
You got 1 foot in the fryer there. 2-2 from Montero. A breaking ball hit in the air, right-hand side. Perez makes the catch.
That's how you pitch through it right there, Cater. Well done.
Cater Montero doing a fantastic job to help the Tigers starting rotation and entire pitching staff here tonight, and some positive news on the injury front regarding that rotation. Tarek Skubal did undergo his procedure, and the surgery was as successful as it could be, and one loose body was removed. Justin Verlander scheduled to throw a sim game tomorrow here in Kansas City, so he'll face hitters. A Casey Mize bullpen today that Casey said felt as good as he has in a while. And then Troy Melton also pitched 3 perfect innings in Lakeland tonight. So some good news on the injury front. No exact timelines. And the big thing A.J. Hinch said is for these guys to focus on their next milestones that are in front of them.
It's a lot of injury news, Daniela.
Yeah, it's good injury news. And like I said, we're all eager to see these guys get back to the major leagues. But there are some checkpoints for all of them to reach. But very positive signs that they're heading in the directions that they are.
Thank you, Daniela. Luinder Avila is on the mound for the Royals, his 2nd year in the major leagues. And he faces Zach Short here. You said, ooh, that could be a challenge, and he's going to challenge.
No, he said he looked to the dugout.
Oh,
he looked to the dugout. You can't look to the dugout. He's going to get him because his first reaction was look to the dugout, which you can't do.
Yeah, he just turned. He was frustrated.
But you see right there.
But this is why veterans, right? They're used to getting frustrated, walking out of the box, all that stuff. The instinct to challenge just isn't there yet.
It's not. It takes a while to build it.
It does. But Daniela, you said Troy Melton's done for the night, right?
Yep, he threw 3 perfect innings with 5 strikeouts, and that was in Lakeland. 27 pitches, 22 for strikes. Fastball average 95.4.
That's a strikeout for Avila. I'm just excited that Troy got done with his outing before the Mighty Ducks play tonight. He is a huge Anaheim Mighty Ducks fan.
That was probably his goal. He's like, all right, I got to have a great outing today
that team,
so I can go watch this game.
VGK versus the Ducks, 8:30 Eastern.
Whoever was playing the Flying Tigers was in trouble. Yeah. I'm going perfect right now, boys.
Troy Melton, 3 strikeouts on 9 pitches.
He was throwing 102.
Right, yeah, no. But Daniela had the real update on him. It was a nice outing for Troy, and we're rooting for him and his Mighty Ducks.
That's a big arm. He was so good.
That
after
dude
he got
really
called
sharp.
up, and that is an arm right there.
He's got such a future. He's got such a mind on him. Troy Melton is going to help this team
tremendously.
Yeah. Two misses from Avila, 1 ball and 2 strikes. He's given up 8 hits in 17 at-bats on his sinkers so far this year, and 3 have been doubles. As the 1-2 to Vierling is a slider hooked down the left field line and fair. Into the corner it goes, and St. Louis's finest has a 1-out double.
Here we go. Set it up for little insurance runs. Slider out over the plate. Vierling goes down and gets it. He's such a good athlete in the box. He's got one of the better units of adjustability on the squad. He can hit a variety of pitches in all different locations, man.
Units of adjustability?
Yeah, units of adjustability.
It's my favorite band. Just saw him at the Sphere.
I was trying to think of something to say before adjustability, and nothing other than units seemed reasonable. That was the most reasonable thing that there was. And this is right here, though, is a good matchup for McGonigal. After facing a lefty all day, get the righty to come in. He's giving up hits on the sinker.
Fastball lifted to left. Isaac Collins makes the catch, and we get a message from Rally House, Michigan.
The season starts at Rally House. From jerseys and hats to tumblers for game day, it's where outrageous selection meets every fan's style.
3 units of run-scoring plays for the Tigers tonight. Colt Keith has it bad. He's going to hit for Jahmai Jones.
It comes in different clumps. Every clump is a unit.
Okay.
Units of adjustability means he can adjust to a lot of different varieties of pitches. Pitches being the units. You multiply that by the varieties times the outcome probability, and that equals the units of adjustability. It's an easy equation, Jason.
No, I actually understood it at the beginning. Now I'm a little hazy.
But that guy right there is good at baseball. That's what it boils down to.
That's what you mean.
Yeah.
He got to a pitch that he wasn't necessarily looking for.
Because he's adjustable in the box. And there's different units. And
Right.
levels.
No,
Levels? Would levels be a better word? Would you like levels of adjustability? There's different levels to this thing, too.
The scariest part is a lot of us understand you, which means that you've broken our brains over the course of 2+ seasons. It's ball 1 to Keith. But again, A.J. Hinch knows that the left-hander in the Kansas City bullpen, Lynch, who's been used quite a bit 3 of the last 5 days, and then Strom is in a different circumstance where they'll likely use him with the lead.
Yes.
To protect a lead. So you spill out the left-hander here to try to add to this already standing 3-1 advantage as Keith takes a strike there. And it's with the DH spot in mind, so you're not affecting your defense.
Correct. Well played. That's why McKinstry got the at-bat earlier, so he can go play second. Shore up the defense with the lead. Now try to add on to the lead in the DH spot. He's found himself in the hole here, 1 and 2. He saw the fastball and he saw the slider so far.
There's a sinker, 2 balls, 2 strikes on Colt. Two and 2. Outside, good take, 3 and 2. It had too much run on it.
Got to come to him now.
Three-two. Off the fist to shortstop. Witt is there, and he zings it on to retire the side. Tigers hold on to the lead, and we step aside for the Figer loss. 7th inning stretch. So Kader Montero in the 6th inning ends up with a runner at second and 2 out off this double from Bobby Witt Jr. He had a notion for 3, possibly. He checks up there. Vinny Pasquantino takes ball 4. And so StatCast 3D, powered by Google Cloud after a meeting with Chris Fetter. Here's the sequence to Salvador Perez, Andy.
And boy, was it a good one. He gets him on the fastball in right there to go back with the breaking ball, gets him to pop up. But you can see pitches in the zone, nothing down the middle, Jason. He never had to concede. He knew he's going to swing the bat. He pitched to his weakness. Great job by Kader.
Now Montero is done. Again, short pitch count, but A.J. Hinch, seeing that the 3rd time through led to some traffic, is going to go ahead and call on Tyler Holton here in the 7th inning. So it's up to the Tigers bullpen. There's a whole boatload of left-handers coming up. 4 of the next 5 are left-handers. There are 4 righties on the bench for Matt Quatrero, the specialist being Lane Thomas, who is there for a big spot. His presence on this roster is in large part to deal body blows to left-handed pitchers in key situations late. So we'll see when Quatrero loads that weapon, likely with a runner on. 1-1. But playing it a little bit forward, A.J. Hinch brings in the lefty, which then forces Quatrero to use Thomas in a spot, and then you can pair him with a right-hander later if this game gets hairy, further down the stretch. That one skips away, 2-2. All of that, the bedrock is Tyler Holton's got to throw strikes and got to navigate his way through this portion of the order.
It's quality pitches. Holton's a guy that relies on command. He's got a pretty good breaking ball to lefties. Likes to throw his cutter and his sinker, though, to a lefty. He'll throw it on the outside corner and bring it back.
There's a sweeper, and he just missed it. McKinstry is out, fading over to make the catch for out number one. That was Chansey, and Zemak handled it beautifully.
That's that defense we talked about. You know, McKinstry's very good with the glove. He plays outfield as well. He goes back. He was so confident he called it off pretty early. And Winslow Perez was playing very deep off the bat. There was no shot for him. So McKinstry takes charge and makes a great play. That's the kind of defense the Tigers are going to need to play throughout the rest of the season, Jason. You got to play good D. It's one of the spots that they've worked on to try to improve so far this year. They've been good at it in years past.
And that's where nobody's going to pity the Tigers about injuries. But when you do have 14 guys on the injured list, there's going to be some slippage in places. Yeah. McKinstry, yes, he made an error in his first game back on the Fromber game that went sideways. Yeah. But Zach McKinstry generally is going to be a plus for this team defensively and give you flexibility, which A.J. Hinch requires as a manager with the roster that he has.
Yep, go make plays. He's a good athlete, good baseball instincts.
2 strikes to Caglione, and a tester to the corner, misses. 1-2. One out, 1-2. Breaking ball swatted to center field. Bierling on the charge. Bierling on the slide. There's out number 2.
That's the problem with being too strong. Caglione broke his bat, hit it off the end, and still couldn't get a bloop hit. Really making some nice plays. He ran over to the warning track in right center against the wall in the very first inning. Now he's sliding on the hindquarters. Having some fun out there.
So those are 2 plays at points in the homestand that are the types of plays that didn't get made.
Yep.
The Bierling play is not a 5-star catch, and the McKinstry is not a 5-star catch. But you see the Tigers since 2024 are a much better team across baseball when they don't commit an error, which again is a reductive way to describe defense. We have better ways. But that is so striking, you have to show it.
For sure.
It is a big part of the DNA of this franchise right now, that if they catch the ball, they're going to win a lot more games. Mm-hmm. 0-2 is clipped foul by Collins. That's a massive difference in winning percentage.
Well, a lot of these lineups, the way they're stacked too, there's some guys that have tons that can do damage. And there's pockets of those. Every error, you get one step closer to that pocket again. And how many times do you want to navigate 2, 3, 4 in some of these orders?
It's a great point.
Well, not a lot. I'd like to keep it to a minimum, but the more chances those guys get, the more damage they're going to do.
0-2 changeup.
It also goes to, you know, we've never had a bullpen here in the last couple of years that's a big swing and miss bullpen. A lot of pitch to contact. So when you're pitch to contact, that's even more magnified when you make an error.
To the cutter, strike 3. There's your contact. To the 8th.
Do is win.
Tigers baseball on Detroit SportsNet is brought to you by Westside Windows, local and family owned, celebrating 82 years as Michigan's leader in replacement windows. By your Metro Detroit Buick GMC dealers, and by Figer Law. All we do is win. See that drone shot? Andrew Blaustein, our director, got his pilot's license just to get us that drone shot today.
That's cool.
From overhead. Yep. Did the whole Nathan Fielder bit from the rehearsal.
Can you fly us back to Detroit now?
We got 2 more games to do, bud. Strike 1 from John Schreiber. The Wallside Windows pitching change. His ERA sub-4 as he enters the game. Dingler stays on that sweeper and lashes it right at left field. One away, Isaac Collins makes the catch, and our producer Jason Disick tells me we have a brand connect from Figer Law.
If you've been injured in an auto accident, make Figer Law your first call. Figer Law. All we do is win.
All we do is win.
Those are called brand connects.
Not City Connects.
No, it's similar. One down, Riley Green takes a strike, and here is where Schreiber historically has given up more damage. He's a specialist against right-handed bats.
Yeah, you see the arm angle, the big sweeper, but against lefties, that's neutralized because you can pick the ball up and it's coming back into you.
On the ground, up the middle, trying to split two, and he does. The old bisector. And he's going full field goal good.
It's good. 3 points. Right through the uprights. That's all you got to do. Just hit it where they ain't. Riley doesn't hit even when he doesn't hit it good, it still goes. You notice that? Like it still like gets through there. It's that bat speed he's got.
He gave him the Jason Hansen ground ball.
Yep.
Strike one to Winsell Perez. The Tigers do have a bunch of left-handed bats on the way. Perez, Torque next, the right-hander, and then the lefty McKinstry as well. Again, Daniel Lynch has thrown 3 of the last 5 days. Matt Strahm, the left-hander, is one of the key setup guys for Lucas Erceg, their closers, so Quatrero's not likely to burn him in a game that they're trailing, at least in the 8th inning. If they were to close to 3-2 and there were left-handed batters coming up, maybe you'd have a different choice. Now, can Schreiber put away Winsell Perez? Does he have the stuff against a left-hander to do that, is the question that the Tigers are wondering. He's searching for it right now.
Yeah, he's trying to figure out a way to get him out, because if Winslow's not going to chase at that pitch down, he gets into a little bit of a bind. Maybe try to backdoor a sweeper. You got to get tricky. But Winslow's going to look for the ball up. He does not want it to touch the dirt like that one and then attack. But if it starts lower than that, Jason, he's going to let it go.
It's a ball, basically.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why he tried to go up with the heater to see if he can change the eye level a little bit and see if he can, you know, mess with those retinas.
That was up, and he swats it to left center field. That's a long way to go, and a dive by Isbell. 2 away. Really nice play.
That was a plus play. Winslow hit one out there right-handed earlier in the game, but this time they're shaded to the left center field gap. Isbell comes across, makes a play that if he doesn't, it would get really hairy for the Royals to try to stay in this, because that would have scored a run. There would have been a runner at second, but instead keeps it to a 2-run ball game, keeps that runner at first.
Dots him with his sinker there to Torque, 0-1. Would love to pass this to McKinstry to get one more left-handed at bat against Schreiber before the end of the 8th. Right center field, Isbell turns tail over the shoulder. He makes an awkward catch, but a fine catch.
Is there any hits left in the big leagues? He went to his right, he dove and made a play. This time he goes over the shoulder. Isbell keeping the Tigers only up 2.
Affordable quality.
Tigers baseball on Detroit SportsNet is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Trusted banking for 175 years.
By your local Toyota dealer. For all Toyota offers, visit Toyota.com.
And by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all
your home improvement needs.
Tigers have played great team baseball so far tonight. 3-1 in the bottom of the 8th inning, and Kyle Finnegan is on to try to pick up outs Number 22, 23, and 24 are Wallside Windows pitching change. Finnegan has been ultra reliable. His first pitch is a strike to Michael Massey. And the fun of Finnegan is that he can be a neutralizer to right-handers and left-handers. He gets two left-handers here, and then the right-hander Garcia before Witt. Left side base hit. Massey up the alleyway on a backhand for Vierling. Massey has a leadoff double in the Royals' 8th.
That's the first time this crowd's got on their feet tonight. See the split, he reads it out of the hand, punches it the other way. I didn't even realize how many people were here until that. I looked up and all of a sudden there's a lot of folks in the stands.
29,000 plus, 5% of which are related to you here on fireworks night. Isbell, the 9-hitter with Massey at second. Isbell clips it foul off his body. It's a foul ball. Tigers and Royals have played 3 games this year before tonight. All 3 of them were Tigers 1-run wins in a last at bat. So it would be fitting for the Royals to be in this very spot to try to put some game pressure on the Tigers. Ground ball, right side, base hit. Massey around third. It gets away from Perez all the way to the warning track. Isbell stops at third. It's 3-2, and Wenzel Perez has the ball slip behind him. The Tigers had played clean baseball all night long until this moment.
You're most likely not going to throw the guy out at home on a ball that's hit not that hard. So step one, Jason, always field the ball. Anytime you make an error in the outfield on a ground ball, it can lead to a lot of bases. That's what happened there. He tried to come around it to come up and make a throw. Get the glove down, field the ball first. Now they're in a jam. They bring the infield in with the tying run at third.
And a contact hitter in Garcia who ties the game just like that. That is unreal. 3 straight hits on 5 pitches for a 3-3 tie. Man, oh man.
They got to keep playing here. That splitter's just staying up in the zone out of the right hand of Finnegan, and they're all over it. Chris Fetter's going to come and have a quick talk, try to get the momentum shift slowed down. The crowd all of a sudden got into it. The Royals are feeling it. But anytime that split hangs up, it's a lot easier offering on a hitter than the 4-seam fastball up. He's really good when he's 4-seam fastball at the top rail, the bottom rail, and the split at the bottom of the zone or below the zone. If it hangs, then you got an 88-mile-an-hour ball that's just kind of floating down the middle.
Now you have one of the shimmering young stars in all of Major League Baseball, Bobby Witt Jr. And most of these fans are leaving with a bobblehead of Bobby Witt Jr. and Vinny Pasquantino playing rock, paper, scissors as they do after home runs tonight. Witt is the batter. First pitch is a strike. This is a total heartbreaker. The way this has gone down, the Tigers need to try to stay the course. Throw to first.
They got Brant Herter warming up in the bullpen quickly for the Tigers. Vinny Pasquantino is lurking on deck. Another massive power threat.
Witt is one of the fastest players in baseball. Even a ground ball isn't a guaranteed double play. He checks his swing on a slider. Pasquantino is the CNL Ward on deck hitter. That's why Herter's up, as Andy mentioned. 1-1. Whit fouls it back, straight back, 1-2.
The crowd here hanging on every pitch. Foul ball, they
This is who they came to see.
The intensity has hit another level in this building. They got their guy at the plate. Finnegan trying to get out of it right here.
1-2. Witt takes a one-hopper. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Bobby Witt Jr.
This is where you can feel the intensity as a pitcher, too. You feel like you have to be perfect with a guy like Bobby Witt. But in a 2-2 count, you'd prefer not to go 3-2. You want a quality pitch right here. Execute one pitch, dial it in.
Two and two. They've gone full.
He's going to lay off that splitter below the zone. That pretty much forces you into a fastball, Benetti.
Against a guy who can slam dance on anything.
Yep.
But fastballs in the zone were his specialty last year. 3-2 with the chant of Bobby ringing through the big K. And he reaches out to spray a slider. He didn't want to chance it, and it stays 3-2.
It's a good pitch from Finnegan. He has not felt the split so far. Slider's his second best secondary pitch.
Go to first. So Garcia on the last pitch started, spun his wheels, shut it down. Finnegan throws to first to check on him that time. Three and two to Witt. Called strike three. He's going to challenge. It's either strike three or ball four. ABS challenge powered by Figer Law, and it is ball four. Second walk of the night for Kansas City. Really makes a thorny situation for Brant Herter to enter. He'll replace Finnegan. Pasquantino coming. 3-all in the home eighth in Kansas City, and the Tigers need some outs fast when we come back.
Yay! Tigers fans, prorated memberships for the 2026 season are now available. This means you can become a 1901 Society member with a fewer games at a low price that's full all season. Commit to just 22 games and you'll unlock the best perks, including exclusive membership events, priority access to postseason tickets, and more. Visit tigers.com/2026 to start your prorated membership journey today.
Brant Herter is a ground ball specialist. He's got 2 on, nobody out in a 3-3 tie in the 8th inning. He'll face Vinny Pasquantino, who looks at strike one. Bobby Witt Jr. just used a challenge very effectively to draw a walk and bring in Herter, our Wolfside Windows pitching change, with 2 on instead of 1 on and 1 out. Oh, 1. On the ground to first base. Torque to second. 1 there. Back to first. Herter's there to cover. Double play. Exactly what Brant Herter wanted.
That is why he's clutch in these situations. The big lefty has a sinker ball that gets hitters to put it on the ground. Torque initiates it on the backhand. Nice job coming across, and what a good job by Brant Herter, the big guy, to get over to first base, secure the bag, and catch the baseball.
I mean, that's a basketball power forward whose first highlight on Huddle is a shot block in his basketball career. Salvador Perez. First pitch almost hit him. Or did it? Very close. Talking to Dexter Kelly, the plate umpire. Kelly had his hand up in the air as if to say dead ball for a moment, but it is just ball 1. Sweeper to the back shoe, 1-1. You don't need to feed him here. There are lefties coming up.
Yeah, and that's going to be the game plan. You're going to swing at stuff out of the zone. He is a pretty good bad ball hitter, but it's much more difficult to hit a ball that's on top of your shoe than it is one over the middle.
Now the thing about really bad balls out of the zone is Dylan Dingler is a strong blocker, but Garcia is a risk taker and a speedy guy over at third.
Most of Brandt's stuff, unless he spikes a sinker, most of his stuff, he's got the sweeper and the changeup, but there's not a big 12-6 curveball in there.
1-2 from Herder. Trying the outside corner, 2-2. Royals have tied the game here in the 8th. 2-2 to Perez. Oh boy, if that's a little bit closer to the strike zone, it might be an early fireworks night.
He stayed on the changeup pretty well, but it was far enough away that he could not find a way to get it in fair ground. They got him leaning out over the plate a little bit now.
2-2. Right back there, he rolls over foul, third base side. The Royals have Lucas Erceg, the closer, up in their bullpen for a possible lead in the 9th, or maybe even a tie game in the 9th to hand it back to the offense. 2-2 from Herder to Salvador Perez. Who's going to swing at that ball, if it caught the dirt or not?
He's in swing mode right now, but if there's a guy that can hit pitches and touch pitches that aren't strikes, he's one of them. He hit that off his back foot. You don't see that often.
That was Vlad Sr. right there. That was Vladimir Guerrero Sr.
Yeah.
Two and two from Herder. One more time. Reaches down to nearly decapitate Garcia.
And this is a spot where for Herder, I mean, he's on all the stuff down, down, down. They do not want to get him up in the air. But there is a point, Jason, where if you got a guy in swing mode and he's swinging at stuff that's about to bounce, well, you might run one of them hot ones high up out of the zone, see if you can get him to chase.
Pitch number 9 of the sequence right here. See where they go. They do go up. It wasn't far enough up to get a swing and miss. Far enough up to get a swing and miss right now might be Neptune.
You might have to throw it to the needle in Seattle to get him to not make contact.
What a standoff. Herder to the veteran Salvador Perez. A decade and a half in Major League Baseball, and he takes that time. Dingler just siphoned it. It's 3-2 to Salvador Perez. Pitch number 11 from Herder to Perez. Here we go. He takes ball 4.
I mean, really, that's all right. You got the lefty on deck. Coming up. And the way Salvi was in that at bat, that's one of those. He was really close to hitting one of those off the end doubles down the left field line.
And this is where Quatrero is going to use Lane Thomas. We told you that he was saving him for that spot, for an opportunity to get him a left on right at bat. Lane Thomas, who just a couple of weeks ago finished off a series with the Angels with a home run off left-hander Joey LaCasey. This is the purpose on the roster, the chief purpose for Lane Thomas, who's a strong defender and a veteran presence, but his superpower is hitting left-handed pitchers in key spots of ball games.
He's had a pretty discerning eye too this year. Hasn't struck out a ton against lefties.
He's walked more than he struck out for this season.
But this is where your defense matters, because if you're getting a ground ball pitcher, and if he puts it on the ground, you got to make the play.
He does put it on the ground. It's McKinstry giving ground to throw him out, and Brant Herter does a marvelous magic trick in the dark.
Or online.
We have no idea how this game's going to end, but we have some idea of how tomorrow's game's going to end. We do it backwards sometimes. It's tomorrow's headlines today. The Madden Cruiser. Ty Madden, no runs on 80% fastballs, including that cutter, which is kind of slider-ish. But a lot of fastballs in his first outing, which is great. I'd rather walk could also be a headline tomorrow. Michael Wacha's walk rate is the highest it's been since 2019. We saw that with Bubic coming in. He walked a handful, and now Lucas Erceg is met by this from Zach McKinstry up the alleyway. He's been a triples machine in the past. He's got a double here to lead off the ninth, and the Tigers trying to get to Erceg in a sort of Phil Connors Groundhog Day situation, like the last time these two pitchers matched up back in April.
First pitch fastball, be ready for it. Leadoff doubles are a great way to start an inning when you need to run. Hit that 95. Erceg will run it up to 98. That's why you like to jump on the first one. You don't have to get to all the slider and the change and all the other stuff. Hit that fastball.
First pitch popped up, sliding play. It is fair, and it's caught. And it's Erceg running into Elias Diaz. As Zach Short popped it up, Erceg is down on the ground. There's one out, and we'll check on the battery for Kansas City.
Not good. Anytime there's a collision, just an awkward play. Diaz and Erceg both going for the baseball, and it looked like his leg got caught when Diaz came in and just hit him real hard in that right leg. That's unfortunate.
Erceg, the Royals closer, is down. They're going to try and help him up.
Hopefully it was just a hit to the shin bone, because that right leg got jammed up by something. You see, it was the backup breaking ball. Yeah, the left leg, the right leg. It looks like his knee, and yeah,
yep, right
into the shin guard. That's his leg that he pushes off with, so he's going to take a couple pitches here, see how it feels.
And while he's getting ready, Kerry Carpenter has grabbed a bat and is on deck for the Tigers. So Erceg is at the center of all this, but pretty soon Kerry Carpenter is going to join him. As Erceg is, you know, you slide on the ground like that, it's kind of wet grass. It gets a hand dewy.
Yeah. Got to freshen up a little bit. That was a pretty hard contact play. His right leg going into Diaz's shin guard, both his legs. So we'll see how he feels. He'll throw a couple. He's got to get the dirt out of his cleats real quick. Yeah, it looked like right leg's feeling strong there. Hopefully it was just one. You know, you get hit in the shin, and it's like, ah. Hurts like the dickens for a minute, and then it kind of goes away.
Well, the Tigers are hoping that maybe he just gets a little bit erratic, as he did at Comerica Park. It was the same situation. It was Montero versus Bubic. The Royals had come storming back in the game. They took the lead with 6 runs in the 7th. They added one in the 9th to go up 9-7. But the Tigers scored 3 against Erceg on a Gleyber Torres single, a McGonigal walk. Riley Green, Colt Keith, back-to-back base hits to give the Tigers the win. So it is a similar situation. Kerry Carpenter saw him in the 9th inning and struck out on 3 pitches in that game at Comerica Park. So the instinct to possibly think about walking Carpenter probably wasn't there anyway, with left-handers following. But Erceg does have a history recently in taking care of Kerry Carpenter. The Royals do not have a whole wheelbarrow of players on the IL, but one of their bullpen pieces, Carlos Estevez, just had another setback while he's on the injured list. Urseg is their closer, and he has a runner at second and one out in the ninth. Zemak at second, one out. Carpenter takes a called ball. It was outside, 1-0. Carey uses an early timeout.
Looks like Diaz has a pitch comm issue.
Oh, that's what it is. So Diaz, it needs another pitch comm. So
yeah.
That was not Carey's timeout. Diaz was fooling around with his pitch comm.
After the contact, it seems like it is broken. There's not a better word for broken.
It's on the fritz.
Still can't think of another word better than broken.
Excuse me, sir, your pitch comm is running.
Oh, it is. Now we're going to go back and forth. We haven't had that many pitch comm malfunctions this year.
No, and usually
it's
they're
been way better.
First inning.
Yeah, for when they first came out, I mean, it was every game. You're going to have a quick timeout for a pitch comm adjustment.
If I'm watching this and I'm an engineer, I am going to try to create a pitch comm that withstands and absorbs contact.
Yeah.
I want a pitch comm that's indestructible, like a black box in an airplane.
Made out of titanium.
Correct. Looks like we're ready. McKinstry at second, Carpenter at the plate, Lucas Urseg, the flamethrower, on the mound. The 1-0, couple long delays. You wonder what the rhythm's like for Urseg after the collision than this.
Not good now. You couldn't imagine it being what he wants it to be. You know, he's standing around on the mound, checking his leg first, and now he's got to wait for the pitch comm, and you see the first pitch, second pitch to Carpenter, way out of the zone, up and away.
2-0, Carey pops it up. Right-hand side, Jack Caglione makes the catch.
Just out in front of the slider.
And Carey was geared up for something fast.
He was. Got out in front of it on the breaking pitch. This is a good spot for McGonigal. Teams have attacked him up in the zone a little bit with the fastball up and in. And we've seen some contact with fly balls to left field and the left side.
Urseg's first pitch was very hittable.
The middle dancing changeup. Seems like a good dance partner, but once in a while, it steps right on your foot. Get out in front of it. He wanted that fastball.
Yeah, dance with the one that brought you. 0-1. Off the plate away. Not by much.
Go ahead, run at second. Urseg trying to pitch out of it right now.
2-1. Remember, he walked McGonigal as part of that 3-run walk-off for the Tigers in the last of the ninth at Comerica Park. Two and one from Urseg. He takes another slider. Now, do you come at the rookie with a fastball? If so, it's got to be elevated, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's what he's going to dial up for. If you don't want to face him, you can throw him a changeup, see if he's out in front of it. But he is seeing the slider right out of the hand. I mean, both of those takes were strong. Those are pitches you can swing and miss at. It looks like McGonigal saw him the instant it came out of the right paw.
He swung through a changeup, 3-2.
And this is big league pitching. They're pitching around him and trying to prey on some aggressiveness here.
Three and two to McGonigal. He just got a piece. He didn't want to let the changeup go. He didn't know if it was a strike.
Yeah, that changeup's moving a lot, too.
That was almost in Diaz's glove.
Yeah, started on the plate. Would have been a middle-away fastball. Ends up off the plate by about 3 or 4 inches. It's a good pitch.
Three and two again. McGonigal read it well, and that's a challenge coming from Diaz. That was off, I think.
Yeah, unless it caught the front of the plate somehow. I don't know. I've seen crazier things. The lights went out here a little bit ago. Yeah,
that's a ball. But, you know, for Kansas City, though, if you do play extras, you're going to get a challenge in the 10th inning. It's not a bad play by Diaz. But now Colt Keith, who is the guy who walked off Urseg at Comerica Park a couple of weeks ago. And the sequence was very simple. It was a changeup below the zone, about shoe top high, and then a middle changeup.
He ripped it into right field.
Urseg remembers. Keith remembers. The first pitch might tell the tale here. It is another changeup down.
Now you throw one middle.
Just roll the dice.
Repeat. Why not?
Oh, it's a slider that was up near his eyes, and he popped it up. Bobby Witt Jr. will leave it to Garcia, and the inning is over. Bottom 9 in a tie.
Better lawyers.
Friday nights just got even better at Comerica Park. Friday night party in the park. Join us. Presented by Casamigos. Enjoy pregame food and drink specials, live music, postgame fireworks, and more. Don't miss the fun. Visit tigers.com/party to learn more. Jack Caglione doubled and scored in the second inning. When this game was tied at 1, the Tigers had taken the lead, but Kansas City tied it in the 8th again. And Caglione looks at a strike from Brant Herter, who did some sleight of hand to get out of a major pitfall in the 8th. Swing into his 0-1 and a chopper foul. 2 strikes that ended up hitting Collins in the on-deck circle. Each team has a short bench left. The Tigers only have Jake Rogers. Kansas City has Nick Lofton and Starling Marte, 2 right-handed bats available. Cleveland's won tonight to go to 21-19. Tigers are 2 under. Kansas City has dropped to 4 under. 1-2, slice to right field, and that is playable for out number 1 here in the 9th. So Wencel Perez has moved to center. Kerry Carpenter is in right. Isaac Collins, the batter. You're at the 7 spot in the order right now, so you're a couple slots away from Garcia and Witt and Pasquantino. Two 2-0 on Collins. But as you said earlier, Andy, every base runner draws you closer to that dangerous top of the order.
Keeps trying to suck you into the void of the damage doers.
Three 3-0 to Collins.
Couple lefties. Collins is a switch hitter, and then you got 2 more lefties. You'd figure Herter will stay in.
You would imagine
for a
so.
minute until maybe Michael Garcia comes up, and then they might try to switch. So Herter's going to have that baseball. Get right back into this at bat.
Leisurely a strike on a sweeper, 3-2. The crowd reacts, but they can't challenge.
Wouldn't that be something?
Ask the audience. 3-2. That's strike 3. Yeah, he got him. 2 down.
That's how you come out of a 3-0 deficit. Painted a heater, sweeper on the back door, painted another sinker. No big deal.
They're going to hit for Massey. Lofton for Massey. This is an interesting one.
Yeah, it is. I'm with you.
Because it's not a leverage situation, and Massey had a hit against Finnegan. He hasn't put up big numbers against lefties this year, certainly, but we'll see. Lofton has not been, by reputation, much of a power hitter. And then if he reaches, you end up with a left-hander, Isbell. Anyway. That's a strike that they fished out over the inner third, 1-1. The Tigers in a prospective 10th would have Dingler, Green, and Perez coming up. What Lofton has been good at is patience. 7 walks, 4 strikeouts this year for Lofton. In the air, left center field. Green will watch it bounce off the wall and turn into a double.
So the pinch hit pays off. Gets into a 2-1 count, finds himself a sinker down the middle, and puts a good swing on it. They got the winning run, standing at second.
Huge batter here to make sure you throw strikes. You have the right-handers coming next, Garcia and Witt at the top of the order. Isbell, first pitch, called the ball. Dingler's going to challenge. Tigers have 2 left. That's really no harm at all.
Yeah, you got to go for it there. Good idea by Dingler.
Looks like it might be just off, and it is. So it is a ball. The Tigers have 1 remaining. Again, if you get to extra innings, you get 1 back.
Yep.
If you have 0, you don't get to add on to put it to 2, but you'll have 1 in your pocket regardless. 1-0 for Isbell. Slice toward third. That's a base hit. Lofton's around third. He heads home, and the Royals walk it off. Again, the bottom of the order stings the Tigers in the 8th and the 9th tonight. And it's Kansas City 4, the Tigers 3. Another final at bat, 1-run game in this series.
He's kind of lost his sting when you get a starting pitcher in Cater Montero who goes out and does a fabulous job. Pitched his tail off, gets into the game. Then you have a little bit of that defensive mishap played, rearing its ugly head once again in a ball game where you got to play clean baseball. The Tigers were unable to. The wheels fall off from there, and the Royals are going to go home winners, and the Tigers are going to have to continue to try to find answers to shore up the defense.
4-3 your final score. This is a tough one. Pure Auto postgame coming your way next, including the Bet365 upcoming schedule, which will include 2 more here in Kansas City. 4-3 your final score. For our producer Jason Disick, our director Andrew Blaustein, for Daniela Bruce, Andy Dirks, Jason Benetti saying farewell. Pure Auto postgame is next.